Hey guys, welcome to DevTech Finance. In this video, we would be learning about the topic motor insurance. This video is a part of general insurance module, so I recommend you to watch all other related videos to this. So let's start with the introduction. Before going on to motor vehicle insurance, let me give you a brief about general insurance. So all that is non-life is referred as general insurance, which comprises of motor insurance, fire insurance, then marine insurance, etc. So this was a brief about general insurance to give you an idea, and thus motor insurance is a part of general insurance module. So let's start with the introduction of it. Motor vehicle insurance is the insurance coverage of risk arising out of the use of motor vehicles such as car, truck or other vehicles causing damage and loss to oneself as well as others' property in an accident. So motor insurance is also motor insurance you could refer whenever you are taking insurance for the coverage of risk that could arise in form of damage or loss to your own vehicle, or maybe you are causing damage to someone else's vehicle in sort of any accident on road. Thus it becomes mandatory to get a motor vehicle insurance which will insure your car as well as your life in case of any accident, any injury caused. Let's see. Motor insurance is mandatory as per the Motor Vehicles Act passed in the year 1938 and subsequently amended. So this has been mandatory because whenever you are driving on road, it's not usually that in an accident only your car will be damaged or only injury to yourself would be happening. In any sort of accident, you may be damaging someone else's property and someone else's life, and thus it has been mandatory to take motor vehicle insurance. And this comes under Motor Vehicles Act that was passed in 1938, and this act has been subsequently amended many times. Now in recently there was an amendment made because of which the compensation on various traffic rules violation was increased. Motor insurance provides coverage related to property damage, bodily injury, medical expenses, and any other sort of compensation in legal proceedings. So, what all things it provides coverage for? It provides coverage for property damage. So, either your vehicle has been damaged or any property related to it, your bodily injury, any kind of injury you met in an accident, then the medical expenses which you have to incur because of those injury which happened throughout the accident on the road with another vehicle, or maybe any sort of compensation. So many a time it happens that in an accident maybe the other party would be suing on you because of your mistake of violating traffic rules. So in that scenario you may end up paying a large amount of compensation demanded by the other party. So insurance also provides you coverage for those compensation which is involved in any sort of legal proceedings arising due to accident on road by third party. Now, motor vehicle insurance, you can also refer it as auto insurance, vehicle insurance, or car insurance. Now, let's see what are the types of motor insurance. So, first one is private car insurance. Whenever you are taking insurance for your own vehicle, which you have to run for your private uses and no commercial uses, so that would be referred as private car insurance. Second is commercial vehicle insurance. So insurance which you are taking for the vehicle which is going to be used for commercial purposes, which would be involved in any sort of business, delivery business, transportation business, etc. So commercial vehicle insurance. Then defense vehicle insurance. So the insurance for the vehicles which are involved in defense, like the heavy vehicles which are there in the defense segment, so taking insurance for those vehicles. And then there is two-wheeler insurance for your two-wheeler vehicles which you own, so the insurance for that would be referred as two-wheeler insurance. And here you can signify that you have to, when you are taking insurance, you have to mention the type of vehicle you own as well as the use of that vehicle. So it's very much in the policy that you have to mention the use of that vehicle, whether you will be using it for your private purpose or for business purpose, or will it be involved in any sort of defense activity. So all those things you have to mention while taking insurance policy, because that is what that would be combining the premium amount which you would be paying for your insurance policy. Now let's see what is third party liability. So we already referred as third party liability. Let's understand this. So motor vehicle insurance generally comprises of following two components. First one is third party liability, which is mandatory, and second one is owner's damage, which is optional. So motor insurance, when we say that it is compulsory or mandatory, that is because of third party liability. So third party liability is when you met an accident and you are causing damage to another person's property or another person's life or any injury. So it becomes important that you take insurance which would be providing coverage to help out that person to recover from that injuries or properties damage. So third party liability is thus mandatory. Whenever you are driving on the road, you are getting the vehicle, the driving license for your vehicle, you must have to take the third party liability, which would be comprised in the insurance policy, the motor insurance policy which you would be taking. And then the owner's damage is optional. So the damage which would be happening to your own vehicle, so that is optional. You may take or you may not opt out for it. Let's see. Third party liability coverage is the part of insurance policy which protects you in case you are sued or asked compensation for any physical injury or damage to someone else's property by your vehicle accidentally. So any sort of accident in which you are causing damage to some other person without the other person's fault, it becomes necessary that your insurance policy protects you to pay compensation to that person to recover from that injury or that property damage. Third party liability could be of following nature. So it may be bodily injury caused to the third party, that is the another person, or it may be the property damage. So any sort of property damage which you are causing to their vehicle or their property, so that would also be covered under this. Now let's see factors affecting premium. So what all things determine the premium which you have to pay on the motor insurance policy? So these are broadly four categories. Type of vehicle. So type of vehicle. Now what sort of vehicle you are using, whether it is two-wheeler, whether it is private car, commercial vehicle, etc. So that would be determining the premium. Because you see, when you are using commercial vehicle, that would be more prone to risk because that would be involved in business day-to-day activities, whereas private car would be used less as compared to commercial vehicles. Thus the premium would be less because the risk would be less as compared to the commercial vehicles. So whenever you are taking insurance, motor insurance, it becomes mandatory that you mention all these things, that for which purpose you are owning the vehicle, and in sort that you try to mislead the insurer, it may deny to give you the coverage whenever it will come to know about the purpose of the vehicle for which you have taken the insurance, if it differs from the purpose which you have mentioned while taking the insurance. Thus it becomes important that you mention the type of vehicle, the use of the vehicle, etc. while taking the motor insurance policy. Second is physical condition of the driver. So it also depends on the physical condition of driver, because if the driver is not healthy enough and he is not having so much of skills of driving and maybe disability in any sort, so there is more risk that there would be an accident on the road, and thus the premium involved would be higher as compared to a driver who is in healthy condition. Geographical area of use. So this also determines the premium amount, because geographical area determines the risk involved. So maybe you are driving in more populated city as compared to when you are driving in any rural area, or maybe you are driving on hill areas which are more prone to risk as compared to the city areas. Thus the geographical location where your vehicle would be used, where you are taking the motor insurance policy, that would determine the premium, because that would differentiate in the risk involved in that particular location. Then the age of vehicle. So the age of your vehicle, how much you have used, and because with every use of your vehicle, it goes through depreciation, wear and tear happens to your vehicle, and thus the risk involved of getting into accident or any sort of damage becomes higher. So the premium would depend on that as well. Now let's see some of the coverages and exclusions. So loss or damage covered in motor insurance. Loss or damage by accident, fire, lightning, any sort of theft or malicious activity, natural disaster, all these would be covered under motor insurance policy. Then the third party liability, which we already discussed, in form of injury, death and damage to others' property, that would also be covered under motor insurance policy. And then any sort of medical expenses due to the injuries or death of any person, so that would be covered under motor insurance policy. Now, what all things would not be covered? So there are exclusions. It won't be paying you for every small damage to your vehicle. So normal wear and tear which happens to your any scratch or any broken glass, that won't be covered. Damage when person was driving without license. So if damage happens because of your fault, if you were driving without having a proper license, then that won't be the insurance company would deny your claim and won't be providing you the coverage amount. Damage which happens when the person was driving in influence of alcohol, so it is prohibited to drink and drive. But after that also, if you were drinking and then driving and any sort of damage or accident happens, so the insurance company could deny your claim and would not provide you coverage. Then damage due to a war, which is exceptional situation, so that is not covered under insurance coverage policy. Now let's see some of the add-on covers which you could take other than the main policy. You can also opt out for some add-on covers which will help you in total protection of your vehicle. So first one is zero depreciation cover. Now in this, you get the whole cost of repairs to external car body damage irrespective of the depreciation amount. So as I already mentioned, that your vehicle, with the uses and the passes of time, it will go through depreciation. It will not be having the same value after 5-year uses or 6-year uses. Its value will decline, and so its capacity also. So the depreciation amount, in case your vehicle's age has been more and it has gone through a lot of wear and tear and depreciation, so the insurance company won't be providing you the full amount. It will be deducting the depreciated amount and then will be providing you the coverage. Now this add-on cover will help you get the repairs or replacement of plastic and fiber components of your car that goes through depreciation. So in this case, the depreciation amount won't be deducted. The full amount would be repaid to you by the insurer. Now, why would you opt on for this add-on cover? This would help you get the total value of your repairs or replacement irrespective of the depreciation amount of your vehicle. And what you would have to pay? So you would have to pay a little higher premium as compared to the normal car insurance policy. When you opt for any add-on cover, you would end up paying a little higher premium as compared to the normal policy. Second is engine protection cover. So an engine protection cover is an add-on to your car insurance policy that is meant to cover any damages to the engine. So let me tell you that in your comprehensive car policy which you take, engine protection is not covered. So any damages happening to your engine, you won't be providing, you can't claim for that, and you won't be providing coverage for that. So you can opt out for engine protection cover, which would cover any sort of damages to your engine which happens through leakage, water damage or physical damage. So the insurance company would be liable to compensate you for repair or replacement of your engine. Now it would cost you a huge amount, so it's better to take this add-on cover to protect your engine. And this is mostly useful in areas which are more flood prone areas, because the water would the water damages the engine, and in that case you would be incurring a lot of cost in replacement of your engine. So in that sort of areas, it's more advisable to take this add-on cover. Then roadside assistance cover. So it's very useful add-on cover to take on along with your vehicle insurance policy, because it charges you a little higher premium. It's not much difference, and whereas it provides you a lot many service. So let's see. A roadside assistance in insurance cover keeps your insurance at your service so that you can contact your insurer immediately. So any a time in between your travel, whenever you face any problem, it provides you an assistance. So anytime you can contact your insurer immediately, and he would be the person would be there to help you out in the case of accident or any emergency situation. So it provides roadside services such as repair on the spot. So any damages happen, it would provide the repair on the spot. If you need emergency fuel delivery, it would be provided. The flat tire service, the tire may be changed. Driver disability, if your driver goes through disability and you are stuck in between your way, so the driver that would be covered, another person would be driving you up. Then shipment of spares part any needed, towing to nearest repair center. If your car just stuck down and it does not move, then towing your car to the nearest repair center. And in case your car is taking a lot many time to get serviced, it would involve many hours, 3 to 4 hours. So in that scenario, you would be provided with accommodation and cab service as well. So roadside assistance cover provides you a lot many things with a little higher premium than your actual car policy. Let's see the next one. Then this is consumable cover. Car insurance usually does not compensate or pay for any car's consumables damage. So any sort of damages happening to car's consumables are not paid, are not provided coverage in under the normal car insurance policy. So at the time of claims, you are supposed to pay yourself for the replacement of these consumables. To avoid this, you could opt for consumables cover in motor insurance. A consumable cover is an add-on insurance cover that pays for the cost of consumables like nut and bolts. So what all things are consumables, like your nut and bolts, engine oil, gearbox oil, lubricants, grease. So all these things are considered as consumables because it cannot be reused. Either it exhausts or it need to be replaced. So nut and bolts, after use, it need to be replaced after a period of time, whereas the engine oil, gearbox oil, all these burnt out after being used. So those things which cannot be reused are referred as consumables, and opting for this add-on cover would provide you to be replaced or refilled in event of any accident to your car. So opting for this consumable cover would provide you an add-on cover which would compensate for any sort of damage to your consumables. Now this is return to invoice cover in case of incidents where you lost your car completely due to fire or theft. So maybe it happens that you completely lost the value of your car, whether it has been stolen or due to any fire damage. Now the insurance company would pay you only up to the IDV. IDV is insured declared value, which was determined that how much would be paid you after deducting the depreciation amount and all those the parts which are not covered. After deducting all those things, the insured declared value is what would be paid by the insurance company, which is of course much lower than the invoice value of the car. So invoice value is the value at which you would be purchasing the car. Since you have totally lost your car, you may be going to the market and purchasing another car, so the compensation which you are getting is much lower as compared to the purchase value of the car, which again you have to pay as the invoice value to get a new car. Now with a return to invoice protect add-on cover, here you would get the invoice value of your car. So you just have to show the receipt and you would be getting the invoice value of the new car which you would be purchasing, which would be a replacement to the same model old car. So this happens only in case you have totally lost your car and it's not like some sort of small damage to your vehicle. So thank you for watching. This was all for this video. Do like and share my videos. Subscribe to my channel DevTech Finance. Thank you all.